It's Assassin. So today, as you can tell from the title, I want to talk about Avengers Infinity War, which is basically Avengers 3, which Civil War was basically Avengers 3, but we don't talk about it because it was a Captain America movie, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I'm going to talk about a few things about Avengers Infinity War. Now, there is a little trailer that came out, kind of, not really. It definitely didn't leak out, and I definitely didn't watch it, and I definitely didn't feel any emotions about it. No way. No. I would never do that to Marvel. I would never watch a trailer that's not supposed to be out. Yeah. Anyways, I wasn't here to talk about the trailer. I was here to talk about some other things, as you can tell from the title of this video. I did want to comment a little bit on the trailer. It was interesting. It's a thing, and yeah, it was a very interesting trailer, very cool, and I'm very excited for when it comes out. The trailer, anyways. I'm excited for the movie too, but excited for the trailer too. So I wanted to talk about two specific things, and one of the things in the title of this video is going to come a little bit later because the first thing is very small, and I just wanted to make a comment on it, and it kind of combines with what the title is. So, if you don't know, Mark Ruffalo was being interviewed with Don Cheadle, who plays War Machine, and of course, Mark Ruffalo is Hulk. And they asked about Avengers Infinity War, and Mark Ruffalo said everyone dies, and then Don Cheadle's like, dude, shut up, like, that was bad, and Mark Ruffalo's like, well, get in trouble by Marvel, and he's like, probably, and blah, 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 blah. And everybody's been kind of freaking out about this, being like, oh my god, he spilled some big rumors, like he spilled a huge thing, huge spoiler alert, everyone's freaking out, when I'm just sitting here like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just because I don't believe it. Here's why. Now, I believe this interview was during Good Morning America, something like that. Some ABC thing, right? And here's the thing. Marvel's very close with, like, wherever this show was, this ABC thing, because Disney owns ABC. This is where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is, all this good stuff. So, why would they let this out? Right? Why would they let this interview out? So, here's my number one of, like, if this is a huge spoiler alert for Avengers, why would Marvel let this thing out? They would have killed it dead in the water. And secondly, they're not going to kill all of the Avengers, okay? They're not doing it. There's no way. Nope. They're not doing it. They're not going to kill everyone off, okay? Not everyone. They might kill the main guys, but they will not kill all of the Avengers. They won't. They won't do it unless they immediately bring them back. It's kind of like the whole Superman thing in Justice League. Like, yeah, they killed him, but he's coming back. So if they kill all the Avengers, some of them are coming back. There's no way. No way. So that's why I think it's very weird. I just feel like it's very weird with the whole everyone freaking out over what Mark Ruffalo said. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. But I wanted to get to the more meatier, juicier side of what I wanted to talk about, which is who will die in Avengers Infinity War. Yeah. So I have a few theories, but I want to talk about a little bit about what might happen. Because I heard this nice little rumor going around, nice little theory going around, that Thanos is gonna hurt a lot of people, right? Because he's Thanos, that he might bring back Peggy. Which is very interesting to think about. Being that in Avengers Age of Ultron, we all know, spoiler alert, that Pietro dies. And since that moment, I've thought about everything with Thanos. And what I feel is that there's this whole big storyline in the comic books to where Scarlet Witch goes a little insane and says no more mutants, all that good stuff. And I think she does that because Pietro dies. I don't really remember. I think it's Pietro dies, but I don't really, a little phasey there. So I've always thought since Age of Ultron that they might want to go the route of making Wanda go a little crazy and go a little crazy with power. Seeing that in Age of Ultron, she felt her brother die. She felt that and then went a little crazy, as you remember. So, I felt that Thanos might either want Scarlet Witch by his side, or just want to hurt her. So I thought that maybe Thanos might bring Pietro back. Like, it might happen. And then Scarlet either goes crazy, seeing Pietro back, or might even join Thanos' side. Now, I don't want that to happen because I love Scarlet and I don't want her to be evil, but it's a possibility that she sees her brother and decides, I'm going to join Thanos, right? Because Thanos might be like, hey, I brought your brother back. If you want him to stay here, you're going to have to join my side and attack the Avengers. Right? That could totally happen. And Thanos probably will know that Scarlet got her power from the Infinity Stone. From the Mind Gem. Yeah. I think it's the Mind Gem. So it's really interesting to think that either he could even take her power, because she's technically got her powers from an Infinity Stone, and so did Pietro. So that might be interesting. So now let's go get to the more other juicier part of this theory, is that they might bring Peggy back. Now that's crazy to think about, being that she just died in Civil War, if you don't remember. That, I almost said Chris Evans, but Captain America goes to her funeral and then finds out Sharon Carter's her niece or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But to hurt Captain America, what's the one person that you can bring back to hurt him the most? Peggy. Imagine it. Imagine if Thanos brought back Peggy. It could be the same thing as what happens with Scarlet Witch. Now, I don't think Cap would turn his back on the Avengers as easily as Scarlet would. Just being that, he's a good guy and, always goes for justice, blah, 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 blah. So I don't think he would do anything for Peggy. But there's also a counter to that if you remember in Civil War, he did everything for Bucky. Everything. Which is a topic for a whole nother video. I can go on a whole entire rant about Captain America and Civil War, and I hated it. But Bucky, he did everything for Bucky. He did everything for Bucky. He dropped basically most of his friends, right? The Avengers. Half of the Avengers for Bucky. So he definitely could drop everything for Peggy. It could happen. But do I think it will happen? No. But I think it could happen to where Thanos brings back Peggy and Cap's messed up. Like Cap freaks out or something. You know what I mean? And it's interesting to think about, especially since I feel like Scarlet could definitely turn for her brother. Her brother is the one thing that keeps her sane. The one thing that tied her to life, right? I feel like they're connected. And so I feel like, especially since she easily switched from good to bad, or bad to good in Avengers Age of Ultron, I feel like she definitely could want to switch again for her brother. Even though I know she's a good person, but for her brother, I feel like she would do anything. But Steve, I don't know if he would do anything for Peggy, but he might. Being that he did everything for Bucky, he might do everything for Peggy. And then I was thinking about how else could Thanos hurt the Avengers? Now, he could hurt Tony by bringing back his mother, which I feel like wouldn't be such a big thing, and I don't think they'll do. He could bring back, I don't know, Coulson. They could always bring back Coulson, right? But Coulson's already alive, so that really doesn't count. But, besides, I feel like Pietro and Peggy, there's no really connection to anybody that anybody else has to bring it back. But kill people? That's a different story. I just spit everywhere. I don't know if you saw that. Oopsie. Ooh, okay. Anyways, kill people. Now, who could they kill? Let's start off with Tony. Who could Thanos kill to hurt Tony? Number 1, Pepper. They could totally kill Pepper, which I don't think they'll do. But it is a possibility they could kill Pepper. They could also kill Happy, which I also don't think would happen. But then they could also kill Peter. Now that's something. Now, yes, Tony just met Peter, but if you watch Spider-Man Homecoming, or if you saw my review on it, you know Tony has a connection to Peter. Tony definitely feels like has a father figure to Peter. He loves Peter like a son, right? And you hurt Peter, Tony's not going to be okay. I don't think any of the audience is going to be okay either, but, you know, that's a thing, right? And there's this whole part in the trailer to where Peter says, Tony, I'm sorry. And he looks a little beat up. Now that just could be Thanos just kicking everyone's ass, but it also could be that Thanos specifically went after him for Tony, to hurt Tony. I don't know. Now let's go to Cap. Who could they hurt to mess with Cap? They could kill Bucky. I don't think they'll kill Bucky, but they could. They could kill Falcon. They could kill Black Widow. I think all those people would hurt Cap. And others include Clint, hurt his family, Peter Parker, you know, they could kill Aunt May. Thanos could kill a lot of people to hurt the Avengers. But here's the thing. Who's going to die in the Avengers? That's the big question everyone's asking, right? And I think there are 2 big ones. There are 2 big kills that they will most likely do. And that is, number 1, Vision. Now, we all kind of assume this, being that Vision has an Infinity Stone in his head. So how is Thanos gonna get an Infinity Stone from Vision without killing him? Because we're all pretty sure if you take the Mind Stone out of Vision, he done for. He dead. And doing that, he's dead. Now, they probably will do this, just because it makes sense. And that could also turn Scarlet Witch a little cuckoo, being that she, you know, they're perfect for each other, and I ship it, and Scarlet Vision is OTP. But anyways, number 2, Captain America. Yep, I said it, folks. I said it. Captain freaking America. Now, here's why. Cap, being the leader of the Avengers, next to Tony and Cap, they're the leader of the Avengers, right? And Cap just, I feel, is the one out of the 2 that's going to die. And the thing is, you kill Tony, which I don't think they'll do. You kill Tony, though. A lot of people will get hurt, yeah. As I was saying, my card ran out of memory space, so I had to dump it all out and then come back a little bit later. Anyways, I feel like if Tony died, yes, people would get hurt. Pepper would get very depressed. Like, all these things would happen. Everyone would feel down. But a lot of the Avengers have issues with him from Civil War, which is really disappointing, but whatever. A lot of Avengers just don't have that connection with him. But Cap, yeah, they do. Everyone loves Cap, the Boy Scout, the Captain of America, that guy. Woo! I love him too, but not as much as Tony, so I'm okay. I'm less okay with Cap dying than Tony. I would die if they killed Tony. So I just really don't want Tony to die. And I really don't think they will. But Cap, you hurt Cap. You kill Cap. The Avengers will come after you. You kill Tony, yeah, they would too. But I feel like Cap is the one where if you kill him, we riot. Like, people riot. And it also allows, if Cap dies, the public won't hate him. Because right now, most of the public think he's a war criminal. And so if you killed him, I don't think people would see him as a war criminal anymore. Now, is there a possibility that he might come back? Certainly is. That somehow after Thanos, they grab the Infinity Gems, they bring him back. But even with that, I feel like after the third installment of the Avengers, I feel like both Tony and Cap might retire. Cap dying and then might be coming back to life and retire, or just dying. Or just retiring. And Tony, I think, will retire too. Either way, if Cap does die, even Tony will get emotional. I mean, yeah, they got into a real big fight in Civil War, but they love each other because they're boyfriends, they're super husbands, OTP. But either way, Cap is Tony's best friend. Like, Tony loves Cap. That's his best friend besides Rhodey. But he and Cap they're best friends. And then Civil War happened, and a lot of things happened. But even at the end, Cap sent him, like, his phone, that little, like, card thing, and it's like, yo, if you need help, call me. Right there. True friendship. OTP. Super husbands forever. OTP. Shipping so hard. Stony for the win. But since it's never going to happen, I'm going to have to stick with pepperoni, which is Pepper and Tony. But anyways, if Cap dies, I feel like it's the most dramatic out of the deaths. And I feel like even in the real world, most people are more for Cap than they are Tony, when I'm all about that Tony. But it's true. People like Cap. And I feel like you kill him, you get a rile out of people. Like, that is some shit right there. And also, because in Civil War, the comic book, Cap's supposed to die, and we all thought Cap was going to die. And he didn't. So, here we are. And Avengers is coming up. I feel like he's going to die. Especially since his contract is running out, and it seems like Chris Evans doesn't want to re-sign it. And neither does Robert Downey Jr. But you know why I think they won't kill Tony? Reason being, Tony kind of is the backbone of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, kind of started this whole trend of superhero movies, right? So killing him would be a little weird, I feel like. But I also think that no matter what, I think they're retiring after this movie, Tony or Cap, no matter who dies. Like, they're both going. And here's the thing. Why I also think that they're going to not kill Tony is because in the future, they want to bring Robert Downey Jr. in as to be like, the granddad to all the new Avengers. That'd be great. I just threw my remote. Tony could be the granddad to the Avengers, because he kind of started this whole thing. He started the Avengers. He's team leader, right? So I feel like he retires. He goes, to his home, living with Pepper, growing old together. And in the future, you bring him back for Avengers 10. And he's like, hey guys, what up? Like, something like that. Nice little, like, teaser. And I just feel like you couldn't really do that with Cap. I don't know. He's like, yeah, he's, everyone loves him. He's, Boy Scout. But I don't think he's that guy. He didn't really kind of create the Avengers. And he kind of left the Avengers with all the Civil War stuff. So, in my opinion, Cap is number uno to die. They can do the whole dramatic scene where he dies, and Thanos crushes his shield, and all that stuff. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this very depressing video. But I just wanted to get my opinion out there and what I think is gonna happen to the Avengers in Avengers Infinity War. But yeah, hope you dudes did enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe button with your poster blast to become part of the AU Avengers Unlimited, and hit that like button with your master sword. Comment down below who you think's gonna die, if you think I'm wrong, all those good things. And also, that one video I did with the Marvel stuff, I forgot to talk about the Inhumans. The Inhumans are coming. Yeah. Anyways, see you dudes later. Bye!